Hi everyone, here's a little video to accompany this teacher blah blah section. I'm going to try and not paraphrase too much. So you can see I'm in the forest today. This is so great. This is iPad magic. So I'm asking the horrible question, are English classes useless? And I'm asking specifically the question, are English classes at Nantes SciTech University useless? Well, as I'm saying in my little text, of course, you decide if they are useless or useful or not. And if you have fun with them, this is great. And keep having fun because you're doing the right thing. Unfortunately, and as I was saying, it might be a little bit cynical of me to say that, but unfortunately, I have the feeling that for most of you, it is simply a waste of time, whatever your level. Because, well, my idea is that the conditions are not do not make those classes useful. We have like rooms with horrible acoustics and set in rows. Oh, sorry, my phone. In rows, rangées of students. I can't even come to see you in the rows because they are too tight. There's no space. And even though there's no space, there's still too much space because those who are at the back, I just can't really reach them. So yeah, honestly, this is useless. Too many people and not the right layout, agencement. I can say that because I have known other conditions, especially for the last 7 years. And I was working at another SciTech university that was in Besançon. And in Besançon, we had smaller classrooms with about 15 students generally. Sometimes it went up to 20, 21, but even in that case, that was still okay. But most of all, the tables were set in a U shape, and that simply changed everything. In that setting, we could really share, and the teacher did not have to take like the central place. Students always brought everything they had to bring to a class because you have to realize that each of you students, each of you has a role to play, whatever your level, quel que soit votre niveau. And you always have something to bring, whether it be just simply your smile or, well, I don't know, your passions or the few words in English that you know. So, for example, sometimes, well, often, almost every time, we would begin our classes in Besançon with people saying, all each of the students saying one by one something for 30 seconds, anything. So that was generally pretty fun because we had people talking about all sorts of things, sometimes serious, sometimes jokes, but that was so interesting right from the start. And I had my students give mini presentations to the class almost every time. And if it was not to the class, it was between in little groups. So they could really, really practice the main thing that it is important to practice in an English class to me. It's speaking in public, not being afraid of speaking English and simply speaking in front of others, because I think this is what you mostly need. And what you need is coaching, really, basically, not school classes. So yeah, unfortunately, here in Nantes, we do not have those conditions. At least maybe we do not have them yet. Well, because I think that would be possible, but well, I would ask for them, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So yeah, we have to do with what we have. So we don't have conditions in which people can really give presentations every day in front of the class because we have too many people, and the rows of people, les rangées, is just too scary. So the only thing that you can do, guys, to make your classes still useful or at least pleasant is to simply do your job. I know it's very I don't know. Those are very teacher talks, teacher words. Just do your job. But if everybody arrives on time, if everybody, or at least most people, ask questions and don't hesitate to say things, to contribute their personalities to the class, or also answer questions when the teacher asks questions to the group. If most people are at least a little bit smiley and optimistic, everything will be so contagious and the atmosphere will just flow, and that would simply be great, even if we have a lot of people in the room. So it is your job to do that, to despite the bad conditions that we have, to make it a nice and pleasant time that can even be really useful. What makes me more and more, well, I have to say, what makes me more and more depressed and desperate is to see students doing something else during the class. And I did not have that. I don't know. I think this appeared since COVID. Well, since I arrived here in Nantes with those conditions, in fact. But a lot of you are doing something else. You have your laptops, computers, taking notes, pretending that they are taking notes, but in fact you're doing something else, like preparing your other classes, or even worse. And this is the most unbearable thing that I can find in those conditions. Honestly, you really have to stop doing that. You have to learn how to be right here, right now, like 100% in what you are doing. Even if it's a boring English class, your English class will be less boring if you're really 100% at it. I know you have a lot of work. I know you're stressed about your exams and English is not your priority maybe, but no, don't do that. At least out of respect for your teachers and for your classmates as well. If you're preparing your other classes, or if you're doing something else on your computer or on your phone, you're not... Oh my, we had a break. All right, so I was saying, if you're not 100% at your class, well, you're not learning anything, you're just wasting your time for sure. So, yeah. That's how I will conclude this video. So see you soon, guys. Or maybe I will not see you soon, because maybe the year is over. But well, yes, do your best at whatever you do, and that is what matters. Bye-bye.